After offering a few tidbits of encouragement to the young Dinesh, who by now had simply disappeared into his electronica to do whatever he does on the dark web, and as we turned left and westbound on the Prince's Highway, I reflected on my own schoolboy experience of piano lessons, and indeed, music in general. As one would expect, I had piano lessons at school. Doesn't everyone? Well, maybe not. I have to admit, despite the fact that I love music, I didn't find these, or any other music lessons, particularly enjoyable. It may well have been the fact that I couldn't, and still can't, read music. Perhaps it was an early indicator of some form of dyslexia. I was okay at the various scales, which were structured and as such I was quite good at. Beyond that, the formal world of music remained a mystery to me. My first actual piece of formal piano music was a composition entitled Fluffy the Puppy. I'm unsure of the composer. It was in the key of C, which, as I understand it, meant that there were no sharps or flats, an easy piece. I still remember it. So beloved it was, I could quite easily hum it to you today. Sadly, I never really moved far forward of the famous Fluffy the Puppy. I worked with a few similar, then classical pieces, but spent most of my time guessing which piano keys to press and the intervals at which to press them. Not a great way to be in the world of music. Whilst I should have been getting a sense of how to play music, the overwhelming sense I was getting was the sense of frustration my tutors were having with me. Don't be alarmed at this stage. There is a connection here with the world of bus driving because it was in the bus the other day, and following my short discussion with Dinesh, that I came to a rather sobering and sad realization. Work with me on this. Shortly after Era, conquering Fluffy the Puppy, key of C, my teacher handed me a piece he thought I was ready to move on to, a piece entitled Waterloo, composed by Björn Ulvaeus and Benny Andersson, the musical genii behind Swedish supergroup ABBA. Now, whilst the music of ABBA is very easy to listen to, if you've ever picked up their sheet music, you'll know that it is devilishly complex. 4 sharps, lots of notes including a number of demised and, in the case of Waterloo, a busy rhythm, quite impossible for the novice to play. My formal piano training concluded shortly after this. So, it took me something like almost 50 years to realise this, but it dawned on me today as I drove my bus, remember the bus? Towards Silvermore, that presenting me with Waterloo was a subtle but cruel move on the part of my piano teacher to effectively flush me out of the world of music forever. After the rather sad Waterloo experience, my piano teacher never saw me again, and my music career came to a sad, sad end. Or did it? It may seem strange to say, but the day I gave up formal musical training was the day I started to play music. Here I am, some 50 or so years later, behind the wheel of a 57-seat coach. I play drums, guitar and piano. I've written something like 300 songs, on piano, and have performed in many bands, mostly on drums, in a range of musical genres to countless people in many, many audiences. One of my songs, written on the piano, was telecast to 30 million people in the United States, land of the free and plenty of guns, and through the agency of ESPN cable TV to millions across the globe. Asterisk. So, what do I say? What am I trying to say in this omnibus that's supposed to be about driving buses, but in this chapter has sort of turned out to be a rather self-indulgent vehicle of self-congratulation and self-promotion? What does it mean? What's it all about? I'm not really sure. Maybe when he emerges from his time trawling through the dark web, I might have a chance to encourage the young Dinesh, name changed for legal purposes, to persist in his piano lessons regardless of how many demised he might encounter on the journey, or, at the very least, enjoy his musical journey wherever and however it might take him. Footnotes. Formal training. Despite 3 years of formal training, I still can't read a note of music. I still struggle to know what demised actually are. Wikipedia helps. Demised. In music, a 30-second note or demised is a note played for 1/32 of the duration of a whole note. It lasts half as long as a 16th note and twice as long as a 64th. 30-second notes are notated with an oval, filled-in note head and a straight note stem with 3 flags or beams. My most recent gig. As a struggling musician, I'm more than happy to perform where possible. As such, if one of my Silvermore College school-run kids has a birthday, I'll happily fire up the onboard microphone and PA system and deliver a rousing rendition of Happy Birthday to You, much to everyone's delight, mostly mine.